Hi, I'm the author who uses Osmond Daniels as his pen name, along with my wife, Deborah, and college roommate, Ade Sampson, who are the three contributing authors for this so-called Trilogy of the Apocalypse, or Unveiling, which is what apocalypse actually means in Greek. The first book is called The Emperor's Scroll Thecla's Story, and is appropriate for bedtime. The second book is called Quantum Modernity, anticipating Antiochus with the Philosopher's Stone, and it's a young adult science fiction novel. The third book is called The Apocalypse of the Grail of Tao, an actual emerald tablet, and it features a collection of thesis studies and a dissertation and a science fiction epilogue that ties everything together. I want to quickly describe how these three books relate to one another, starting with book number 2, Quantum Modernity, because it features the 9 characters who are proposed to have written and illustrated the first book in the trilogy, The Emperor's Scroll. These 9 characters correspond to the 9 circuits of the circuit model of the mind from psychology, and each have individual narratives that converge in the end when their interdependence is revealed. Among these 9 characters is a central romantic couple composed of 2 conspiracy theorists that find when their individual conspiracy theories combine, they abrogate or debunk one another. The other couples are non-romantic, fraternal, or platonic, and it is through dialogue with the other characters that the conspiracy theorists discover that a constructive critical approach to historical analysis is much more useful than a historical hit list. So a larger group discussion emerges that is aimed at delineating a map of historical patterns to inform their mutual goal of negotiating a prosperous and inclusive future. It is at this point we see some of the characters determined to convey this map according to the need of the symbolic, dreamlike right brain. So they illustrate a rhyming book for youth that is called The Emperor's Scroll Thecla's Story. The other characters from book number 2 play central roles in the epilogue of book number 3, The Grail of Tao, that also features Thecla's Scroll, which is a study about women's and minorities' rights, as well as community and prison reform for dispossessed populations. And it's alluded to in book number 1, The Emperor's Scroll. Thecla's Scroll in book number 3 is also proposed to be the mode of transmission for the Fellowship's map of the past that meets the needs of the articulate, logical left brain. This provides the information from the bottom up and top down, or ideally in sync with the development of a potential student, from young adult pictorial narrative fiction to young adult science fiction as a chapter book, then finally a text mostly consisting of historical, religious, political, and technological research papers, as well as models for autonomous thought and inclusive discussion. Regarding the overall theme, this trilogy is designed to empower individuals to have their own hero's journey of actualization as they participate in providing the feedback necessary to synthesize with society and to articulate the necessary accommodations by society for each individual to achieve universal full inclusion, to give each reader the voice and the ability to dissect literature and research that is necessary to instantiate these voices calling for inclusion with the power of properly employed data, tempered with logic, and articulated with appropriate argumentative technique. We believe that these tools are necessary to shape American democracy into one which is fully equipped to represent such an individualized social context as the one that is emerging in 2020 and function with maximum efficiency. The American melting pot, which is essentially a microcosm of the world, given the open immigration policy and population scope, makes it a fitting macrocosm for the multifaceted nature of a fully developed individual identity and the necessarily concurrent hero's journey of Piagetian equilibration that is explored in this book trilogy. Thank you for your time and listening, and I hope that you give some consideration to exploring the book trilogy beyond just this little cursory introduction. I think you will find it compelling, interesting, and challenging, and very much worth your time. Thank you again. God bless.